Alright, let's see our takeoff here. We watching?
Mhm.
That's about 41 degrees right now. It was pretty cold that morning.
Well, you should have put on some warm clothes.
Well, I did put on some warm clothes. I just didn't put on all the warm clothes. There goes our shadow.
Well, you had to put a bunch on there or you freeze to death like a snowman.
I just about did freeze to death. Yeah. We didn't put our big heavy clothes on because we were taking our big heavy cross-country bag. You see that big backpack looking thing right there?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's our laptop case we built for long flights. And it's really heavy, so I didn't want to wear my big overalls. So we just threw some hot hands in our pockets. You like those, don't you?
Mhm.
So we are cruising along to the east right now, keeping our head down because we're getting pounded by the sun because the sun was like super bright. Way bright. Sorry for the camera angle. Usually it's a little bit higher. But we kind of like to see the ground, don't we?
Mhm. I just got lost one of my tooth. I just wiggled it out and helped it.
You just wiggled your tooth out and helped it?
Mhm.
Hooray. So we're gonna put it out for the tooth fairy tonight? Yeah?
But I can't see the tooth fairy.
No?
Because I'm gonna be sleepy. And when she comes, and when I go in the morning,
Uh-huh.
$1.
$1? Are you serious?
Mhm.
That's just crazy. So we're flying along just outside of Martin, right? And the sun's really high and we're having to fly into it, which makes it really hard to look for airplanes that way. So we're going to keep our altitude kind of low, kind of below where airplanes like to fly. But we got to stay high enough so we can get to our safe landings if we have an engine out. That's not fun, is it? We don't like it when our motor breaks. Alright, we're tuning up Google Apps, AirVare, and PPGPS right now. Is that the motor braking sound? Yeah, we don't like the motor braking sound.
Well, I mean when...
That sounds like a disaster. We don't need that. But we've got 3 different apps going for our navigation so we don't get lost. Because nobody wants to get lost, right?
Right, but Dad,
Uh-huh.
please don't do a bad landing like you did before.
Don't abandon you.
Don't do a bad landing because it just went...
Oh, don't do a bad landing. Well, no, they had some good landings on this. My landings are way better than they used to be.
Well, listen, you did one wrong landing before.
I did.
Mhm.
It was not pretty. Nope, when I was learning, I had several bad landings. Took me a little while to get the hang of it.
Yeah, but now you're getting the hang of it.
Yeah, now we're getting the hang of it. No, it was a really cold day, but it was really super smooth air, so it would have been a really nice flight that morning if it wasn't so blooming cold. I'm ready for summertime to show up.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Do you remember where I was flying to that morning? We were going to Paris to look at the winery.
Oh.
Well, kind of close to Paris anyway.
Well, did you not stop?
I did not stall. No, we did not want to stall.
I mean, did you not run out of gas?
I did not run out of gas. I had plenty of gas. I got the new 4.7 gallon fuel tank on it, so I can go a long way. There is Dresden, Tennessee. Off to our right, you see it? There's the courthouse right there, right in the middle of the big Dresden Square.
And what's that?
Oh, that's just a bunch of other little houses. We're trying to go in between the courthouse or between the square and all the other houses because we don't want to fly over anybody's house. Because we have to be careful. How about that?
So we're high?
We're kind of high. We're probably about, I don't know, about 300 feet right now maybe. Thereabouts. Kind of below airplanes, but high enough so we clear wires and towers and stuff. You see all the pretty colors and stuff there? Yeah, it's really brown and then green and then all kinds of shadows and stuff. And you see the pond? Can you see what's on the pond? You see kind of white cloud looking stuff? Right there? That's mist hanging out over the pond. How cool is that?
Ugh, I don't like mist.
You don't like mist? What's wrong with mist? It's not gross. It looks neat. Well, that might be kind of gross. You can kind of see some algae going on there, huh? I bet that's a good fishing pond. You think? Now this pond was really cool. You see that mist right there? And if you look right up there in the corner, you can kind of see a little dot kind of splashing around a little bit. Those were ducks playing on the pond. They were having a big time. But that mist was really cool because when it moved across the pond, you could see it form on one side, and then it would go across the pond, and then as soon as it got off the pond, it would disappear. All the mist would just dissipate once it got over the warmer ground.
Oh.
It was only mist when it was over the pond because the pond was kind of cold.
Well, the sun has to follow you because it likes you.
The sun likes you? To Carroll County Airport. And we met a really cool guy who was a crop duster.
Oh. He had never seen a paramotor before?
I think he had seen one before, but he'd never flown one.
Oh.
But we are getting ready right now. You see our shadow? And we got all clipped into our wing, and now we're picking up our big bag, and we're going to clip that in.
Why you have your bag in?
I've got some extra oil in there, and I brought a book with me to read because I was afraid I was going to be there for a while. So we brought some Richard Bach, who's a pretty cool author. You remember the guy that wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull? You remember that book? Well, this was a different book by him called Running from Safety. It's a very cool book.
Well, I really want to see that one sometime.
We're running. Our wings up, and it's locked in and straight. We're running faster and faster and faster and faster, and we're up, just like that.
I see our shadow.
Yep. Now, it was about 1:45 when we took off here, and the wind had laid down, but you notice the sun's out really bright? There were a whole lot of thermals and bumps on this flight.
Oh.
So the wind was really nice, and it was really pretty. Super pretty day.
Yeah.
But it was really bumpy.
I know.
It was like crazy way bumpy all the way home.
So there's probably a hotel there?
Nope, those are hangars where airplanes live. See the big old tractor back there? There were a bunch of people that came out of the terminal to see me take off, so I swung back around to wave to them and say goodbye before I left.
Oh, well, you could even just sleep in a tent there, have a camp out.
We probably could have a camp out there. They would probably be fine with that. There's some really nice people down there at Carroll County.
But we would have to go in a jet because I don't think all the stuff would fit in that paramotor.
A jet? Have you got a jet?
No, but we could get our jet that goes to Florida.
For sure. We need to tell Mama that we need to buy a 737. What do you think?
Well, that would take a lot of money, so.
We'd have to work hard for that, wouldn't we?
So let's work harder and get more, and more, and then we can buy it.
You see us bumping there? We made that big old right turn. And there were a whole lot of buzzards out today.
But I really want to be a knight with an axe.
You don't want to be a buzzard?
No. For Halloween, I really want to be a knight with an axe, because some knights have axes.
Well, I'll tell you what. You be a knight, and I'll be a buzzard. How about that?
But I have to have a sword and an axe, because that's what some knights use. They use axe.
Do they? That's pretty crazy.
And
you see the pretty yellow stuff down there?
Sure.
There were all kinds of pretty flowers going on today.
Yeah, but I really need to put my thing on to hold my sword.
Yeah?
Because it feels like we're in danger.
You think so? You think we're in danger right now?
So I better go get it quick.
Okay, go get it quick. Well, we're off to get our sword. Yeah, it kind of did feel like a little bit of danger right here. You notice I'm bouncing around pretty good. There was some pretty active thermals going on. There were several times I'd get lifted up from about 1,700 feet and get the top of the lift was about 2,500, and it was really, really interesting because once you got up there, the temperature dropped by about 10 or 15 degrees. It felt like somebody cut it like a knife. It was really cool. Now we have successfully acquired our sword. Are we ready to keep going? All right.
You could just move your arm.
Oh, I'll just move my arm. I'm sorry.
Because this thing is really sharp.
Is it? That does look like a super sharp wooden sword there. It's pretty serious.
Did you see the blade?
I do see the blade. Do you see that big old dirt field right there? Yeah? And you see all the trees we're flying over right now?
Mhm.
Something kind of cool going on here, because over the trees, the sun doesn't heat them up so much, so it's kind of cooler and smoother air. They're a lot more fun to fly over. At least if you're not looking for bumps. But when we get over the field, you know how you get outside and the sun starts beating down on you and it gets really hot?
Mhm.
Well, it does that to the dirt a lot better than it does to the trees. So when you get out over dirt, it throws up a whole lot of heat. And it gets bumpy, bumpy, bumpy.
Oh.
But that can be okay, because all those bumps are lifts and they kind of help you get up higher without having to use your engine too much.
Hmm.
How cool is that?
That's pretty cool.
Then you can save gas.
But how do you know so much about this?
I just did it a lot and learned it. And I've learned from a whole lot of other people. I don't know that much about it.
Well, Dad.
There's a lot of people that know more than me. Uh-huh.
Well, when I'm this age, you could teach me how to do a knife.
When you're that age?
Mhm.
What age is that?
This age.
5? You're 5 now.
You could teach me how to do that.
How to do what? To fly?
I mean, swing a knife easy when I'm this 5.
Swing a knife when you're 5?
Mhm.
We might wait just a little bit longer for that.
Why? Well, how about when I get all my big boy teeth?
All your big boy teeth? Because you lost what today? Did we lose a baby tooth? Oh yeah, so probably by like tomorrow we'll have all our big boy teeth, right?
Mhm.
You think? It might take a little bit longer.
That's okay. The blade's not so sharp as it used to be.
Nope. We drop our sword. Yeah. Now we're kind of bumping around a little bit. And there were a few times on this flight, it was a little bit scary. Did you know that? A few times I thought I might just set it down and wait out some of this, but I really wanted to get home.
Oh, so you just flat home?
I just kept flying home. Because it really wasn't too dangerous, it was just kind of some work.
Well, you could teach me.
How to do what?
Fly.
To fly? You want to do that? We will totally do that. We'll probably have to wait till you're a little bit bigger though, because I think if we learned how to fly right now, your mother would be very upset with us.
Ah!
Mom does not want us flying right now.
Hmm.
Maybe like next week. What do you think? When you're that tall? For sure, that's a good idea. Alright, you see how low we are right now? You don't want to know why?
Why?
Well, as we got closer to home, the wind kind of started picking up, so we started going really, really slow when we were up high. So I could either stay up high where it was a little bit smoother and go really slow, or get down lower where it was bumpier and go faster. So I decided we were going to get down lower and go faster. That's a pretty view though, isn't it?
Well, you go down lower and then your plane starts to get faster in a bubble jet?
Well, it started to get faster in a paramotor because there wasn't so much wind down there. The wind was slower, so I could fly into it faster.
What's a bumble jet anyway?
A bumble jet?
Mhm.
I don't know what a bumble jet is.
Well,
Maybe a jumbo jet.
it's called a bumble jet, not a bumble jet.
Oh, well, you got me. I don't know about that.
Well, probably someone that has a big bumby. What was I saying?
I don't know. Something about a bumble jet.
Oh, a bumble jet.
Oh, a bumble jet. You see our brake toggles right there?
Mhm.
We were flying for a long time. We've been going for like an hour at this point, I think. And most of it had been on the controls, so I was kind of trying to rest my arms a little bit. If you notice, I kind of put one arm down for a little bit, and then put the other arm down for a little bit. My shoulders are getting pretty tired by now.
Well, did you make it home in time?
Did make it home in time.
Well, it's good you didn't fall down.
Oh yeah, that is good. I did not want to fall down.
But did you take a rest? Because I always need a rest when some of your body's starting to get tired.
I waited to take a rest until I got back home.
Oh.
Remember I landed at the airport and then you and Mama came out and we looked at airplanes? Remember the one that had 2 tails?
Oh, yeah.
Like a V? Yeah.
The one that didn't fly for a long time?
Yep, the one that hadn't flown for a long time.
Oh, yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
But you had to tell me that, so I knowed it.
No, that's okay. We couldn't land in our field because we had a really bumpy west wind and a whole lot of thermals. And our field's not too good on a west wind. It's kind of tricky.
How about bush hog in... Well, how about we fill up our other pond and then we can land in a different field, okay?
You want to land in the pond?
No.
No.
Cover up the pond and then fly off and then get all the bad stuff out of the way and then we can just land there.
Oh, okay. Clear out the other side of the field.
Mhm.
But then we won't have our trees to run around in. And the deer would be so sad.
Well, we could save... Well, we have a forest full of trees.
Yes, we do.
So we could just get all our trees close over the pond off.
Mm-hmm.
But to get the tractor all over those ones close to the pond, well, we'd have to cover it up. So let's do that. And then we won't just be having to fall in the pond and pond.
Is that where you're going to land your paramotor?
Well, you're gonna land it there.
Oh, I'm going to land it there?
But
Where are you going to land?
I'm not gonna be flying a plane. I'm too little for that.
Oh.
I'm getting my big boy teeth.
Oh, when you get your big boy teeth, you're going to be flying it?
Mhm.
Okay. That sounds like a good plan.
But if you left me alone, you taught me how to shoot a gun, so I could even... You could leave me alone and I could even shoot a gun.
You're just going to live out in the woods by yourself
Mhm.
and go hunt deer? And then fly airplanes when you get bigger?
Well, I don't know if I can kill animals bigger than me. I'll just run up to this house and tell you guys that I can't kill one that's bigger than me.
Oh, okay.
So we need more powerful guns. How about a big paintball gun? Then it'll be dead.
A big paintball gun?
Mhm.
We might need more than that.
Well, how about like this feet high?
That at least that high.
Then a bumblejet.
And a bumblejet.
I mean,
Can you tell everybody goodbye?
goodbye.
Say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.
We'll see you later.
We'll see you later.
We're gonna go fly on a bumblejet.
We're gonna go fly on the bumblejet.
Patrick has bugs in his nose.
There's bugs in his nose.
What? That's not how that's supposed to go. You're fired.
You're fired.
Yeah, whatever.